Welcome to Journey with Josh. I'm Josh Ubaldi, and we're taking you on a journey of a lifetime into marketing and advertising. Together, we'll solve every mystery about marketing you've ever come across so you can get all the leads and sales you want, and best of all, how to grow a business you truly love. Welcome to Journey with Josh. I'm Josh Ubaldi, and I'm so glad you have joined me today because we are diving directly into the top 5 massive transformations you're going to get when you have your ads done for you. So many times in different places, people effectively consistently say to me, Josh, do my ads for me. Let me just give you everything. Do my ads for me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to figure it out. I don't want any of this kerfuffle and all the faff of figuring out how to have all these advertising things work out. But I do want what ads are going to bring. So at the end of the day, right, while many people are always starting from this place of just do my ads for me, you are actually going to receive, in my opinion, 5 much deeper, more important, even more transformational things so that you freaking love your business on a completely different level, but you're also totally connected with your audience in a much different way. So while we're going to dive into these 5 things, I do want to start just with the givens, because the givens are never the top things. The top things always come a little later when you get into the process, but these givens are very much the basics of having ads done for you, which are obviously you're going to get leads. You're going to get leads and prospects for whatever your offers are. This may be something like a coaching package or coaching program, group programs, something along the lines of courses if you offer those type of things. That is what we are especially designed to help catapult you forward and really help you make the most of. But even more than that, it is also when you have proven offers there for you to actually not only expand your audience, but expand your sales, multiply your sales when you have proven offers as well. But this is really just the start. It's really important to say that's just a starting point. That's the given we always expect. People want leads, people want sales. You can get that with advertising. Nevertheless, there's 5 things that you are going to get that really will always blow your mind to some degree. Now, in our world, before I dive into each of these, it's really important to say each of these things is very aligned or overlapping for how we do things. There's a lot of overlap between all of these things, but my goal today is to really pull them apart for you so you can actually feel which of these things is going to move you forward the fastest and get you the most satisfaction and fulfillment. A big piece of this is really helping you jump over and really work through and work away from what I have called in the past the terrible 3, which really are for us the 3 triggers of confusion, frustration, and overwhelm. In everyone's business, to some degree, at some point, they're experiencing a little confusion and frustration and overwhelm, right? We definitely use those things to make massive leaps and jumps. Those things too are the givens in some way and the starting point to move all the confusion and chaos aside. But ultimately, we want you to really dive into these top 5 things. And maybe one of these things is going to be the thing to make you think, I wonder if I should start really engaging with advertising more, or I should start engaging with my audience on a much deeper level. And maybe all 5 of these things are the things that are going to spark some excitement in you and make you come to life in a different way in your business so you have deep joy inside of your business. So without further ado, let's dive into the top 5 of massive transformations through having your ads done for you. The number 1 thing that will always be given to you here is you will reconnect on a completely different level with your mission. In so many people's business, we see people totally disconnected from their actual mission when they get to work inside their business and they're working on their marketing. Effectively, when this happens, you know this is happening for you. It's really a very specific trigger when you're in the zone of shoulds, right? I should post on social media. I should write emails and nurture my audience. I should make them more offers. I should launch. I should do this. I should do that. I should do this, this, and this. And this is totally crazy making. It's crazy making. It also makes you feel like you're on a hamster wheel that you can never ultimately get off. And it usually leads to some sense of burnout, and it leads to total exhaustion. It leads to you, at the end of the day, though, feeling completely disconnected from your audience. So when random marketing actions have you feeling like this, it's a fast trigger to say, I'm not connecting to my mission here. When you know that your marketing feels more like obstacles as well as shoulds, right? Another obstacle I have to cross, another thing I have to figure out, obstacle, obstacle, obstacle. That is a reminder that you are not connecting back to the mission of your business. Who are you here to serve? What solution do you have for their specific problem? And really importantly, how are you uniquely situated in your industry, in your world, with your message to help them solve their specific problems? Who do you love working with? It always can keep coming back to your ideal audience and your ideal customer or client if you let it to. Your marketing and your mission start to go hand in hand. So effectively, what really gets to happen when you have this advertising experience, because we are never really just doing your advertising for you, we are filling in so many marketing gaps of businesses cobbled together with no rhyme or reason. At the end of the day, you get to kind of start to realign your mission and create a sense of ease and synchronicity. You get to make your mission more holistic inside all of your marketing, but you get to start to see your marketing for what great marketing always should be, which is great marketing should always be a bridge to your audience and never some obstacle or set of obstacles that you need to overcome in order to get a bunch more sales. At the end of the day, wouldn't it be beautiful if you could connect more directly to your audience? If marketing could always be a bridge and multiple bridges so that you can always connect the dots. For us, it is always a case where things will start and end with your customer journey. Your customer journey is always going to be something where someone comes into your world as a stranger and you get to connect all these dots for them until they go along this path to ultimately become a customer. Customer journey. They get to become a customer. They get to bring you sales. And along the way, all of this connecting dots, that's your mission. So remember, marketing can always be a bridge for your mission. And in that way, marketing will always, ultimately, always, oftentimes be the first step in you expanding your mission out into the world. That is a completely different way of even approaching, let alone looking or feeling like your marketing is nothing but an uphill battle every single day. And I personally hate to see that type of suffering, and I really want you to never experience that ever again. When we get to go through a process like this with done for you advertising that always has ads also attached to it, this is the biggest thing that actually becomes even more important for most people than having their ads done. So reconnect to your mission and allow your marketing to be the bridge it is for your people rather than the massive wall of the north of Game of Thrones where terrible things are usually part of that and on the other side. It never needs to be like that. The second major thing that you get with having ads done for you is you maybe for the very first time fully get to control your flow of leads and sales. It is 100% possible for you to control your leads and sales. Take that in for a second, right? Big time out and take it in. You can completely control your leads and sales. I think in this life and let alone in this world, who wants to be a control freak? Inside of your business where you have expenses and you have time invested and money invested, wouldn't it be nice to be just enough of a control freak for you to actually be able to fully control your leads and your sales? Nevertheless, many people totally stop taking any control. They stop actually receiving so much because they just don't end up taking up the mantle and deciding to take control. And even more so, the thing that we see overall, which always stands out, is how they give other people the control over their own leads and sales. So here's the question, right? Have you ever found in your business that you don't have enough leads for some reason? You don't have enough leads. You don't have sales because you don't have enough leads, right? That lead flow is always part of traffic. That sales flow is always part of conversion. But without the leads, you can't get the sales. And yet, so many people seem baffled by that basic thing. Ultimately, though, here's what it constantly boils down to in terms of real life experience. Whether it may be referrals or affiliates or some other intermediary business of how you are actually giving that referral, that affiliate, that intermediary business control over your leads and your sales. It's always about them actually providing people for you to make your offers to. And if a referral dries up or an affiliate dries up or some intermediary doesn't deliver in the way that they've promised or you hope for, right? Ultimately, you're giving them that control. And that's something that we want to totally put the kibosh on. We want you to really start to experience this sense, which advertising gives you on a whole different level. It's so exciting to see people's eyes open and be like, oh my God, how have I let this go for so long where I'm not controlling any of these things? And ultimately, there's one thing that's more important than anything else, in my opinion, in terms of the satisfaction and joy in your business, which very much is when you are only waiting to just receive what other referrals, affiliates, or intermediaries give you, you don't get as much choice in finding and working with your ideal customer, client, or buyer. You have a right and you deserve to be able to put things together and find the people you want to work with, whether it's for your course, whether it's for your coaching, whether it's for your group program. You should be able to work with the people who give you the most satisfaction in your business and make you want to work more in your business. People constantly tell me they want 10x growth, even 100x growth. People do tell me they want to double their growth and 4x and 5x their growth as well. But at the end of the day, right, no matter whatever, how much growth you actually want in your business, the little subtext that people don't often include, which is always there, is, but I don't want it to exhaust me. I don't want to get burnt out. I want people I love to work with. And that does not happen automatically when you are just waiting for someone else to control your leads, which in turn obviously controls your sales. Instead, when you take control of it, it's like the seas part and you get to say, I have had this many calls per week if it's some type of offer like that. And that person's not right. And that person's not right. And that person seems absolutely ideal. I want just to work with them. And then you can tell a system like Facebook, for example, right? Find me more people like them. Please, I'm begging you, find me more like them. Because these other people, nightmares, vampires, bloodsuckers, totally people who sap your energy, people who aren't committed, right? All of these things are the things you do have to deal with when you are just waiting to receive and not being the control freak that you deserve to be inside something like your business, where you are investing your time and your money. So this one, number 2, maybe the most important one in terms of ultimate satisfaction in your business, even though I always think that you getting to fulfill your mission on a daily basis, that goes deeper. And these things, of course, you can start to see how they are all interconnected from my perspective. Hey, it's Josh here. Are you finally ready for advertising that works every single time? If so, then download the 3 T's of great advertising right now. we're going to give you our simple 3-step system that quite literally works every time for ads that do the job time and again. And as well, we're also going to give you the 7 marketing must-haves. These are the main principles so you can get the absolute most out of your investment in any type of Facebook and Instagram ads and beyond. Don't hesitate. Let's get started today and make this super simple. It's certainly not rocket science, and there's no smoke and mirrors. Download it today at www.goldenringmarketing.com/get started. One more time, that's www.goldenringmarketing.com/get started. And we'll see ya on the other side. Jumping off from that point, we're going right to number 3, which is shifting your relationships in your business from transactional to transformational. It's almost like stuck, repetitive, awful, to freedom creating, to joy making, to satisfaction on a much deeper level. And you may even at this point here be thinking, all of this from just getting my ads done for me? Yes, because we're not just doing your ads for you. We are helping you make all of this really work better and help you get a lot more from it. I can't emphasize how different it is that we've been able to put these different processes in place because just the way some tech changed. So let's talk about what this experience is to go from transactional to transformational. Ultimately, you want more buyers, yes? Yes, obviously you want more buyers. And how do you get more buyers? Easy. I want to say it can be easy. Why? If you want more buyers, right, you get to find out more about your current buyers and then maybe just find out more about them. Most people I work with, I would say 50% of the people that I've worked with historically, 50% of the people know quite a bit, but not everything about their buyers. 50% of the people I've worked with and do work with know very, very little about their buyers. And yet they're wanting more buyers and more buyers. They're just wanting more buyers. What does that feel like to you as I describe it like that? Because to me, when it comes out, the way I always feel is this is an insatiable need that can never get satisfied. The very definition of insatiable is this experience of transactional relationships in your business. It'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. It's not designed. You can't design it to be enough when your relations and your relationships with people inside your business, any of your audience, ultimately ending up being more transactional than transformational. Here's also what I know. Everyone has favorites. So I'm going to be very direct and say, I know that almost every parent in the world, though they will never say it, every parent has a favorite or two of all of their children. If you're an only child, then you get to be the favorite of whoever your parents are. But ultimately, the very same thing is true of small business owners like you. Ultimately, if you are a course creator, a coach, someone who leads group programs, a leader and an expert, you've got your favorites too. And what does that equate to? Your ideal audience, your ideal customer, the people you do want to work more with. And how do you find more of those people? I've just mentioned it in a couple different ways in numbers 1 and 2, that the more you get to know your buyers, the more you get to know your audience, the more engagement you have, you stop existing in a transactional way. You start communicating in a transformational way. You not only get to have people know, like, and trust you so that they can ultimately move through a customer journey and become a customer, but you reverse that as well. You let them get to know you and you get to know them so you can see what motivates the best people in your world to actually do that. And you get to do more of it too. Wouldn't that sound like such an amazing relief if you could say, I would just love for more people, like my favorite people, to do this? Ultimately, the reason that I highlight this is so you can be more fulfilled and satisfied in your business, because you do have a lot of decisions to make in your business. And your decisions can either help you build a bridge to your audience and give a lot of joy to you and your audience in your business. Because don't forget, what we know is, I've talked about it in a bunch of podcasts already, there is always an energy to your advertising and your marketing. If you are doing it reluctantly or with burnout and exhaustion and a sense of disgust, at the end of the day, people feel that and they are not excited and uplifted by you. If you come back to number one, to your mission, and you decide to share your mission with people in such a way that your marketing is just you excited to be like, don't miss this, you need this, I want to work with you. They will sense your excitement, just the way I am always excited to engage with my audience when people hit that reply button and they're like, wow, that was something I haven't thought about or looked at, or that's why I don't enjoy doing this in my business. I want the same for you. I want you satisfied. I want you fulfilled. It's not to say that you're never going to experience one of the terrible three: confusion, frustration, and overwhelm, but you will move through it way faster. And that actually, to me, is the most priceless thing possible. The fourth major transformation, when your ads are done for you, is nothing short of you getting all of your numbers. Oh my God, you get to get all of your numbers. Now, let's take a second and think about it like this. Is it possible for you to even consider this? Let's actually just see. If, for example, inside your business, sales are the blood that is running through your business and keeping your business alive. It's keeping things going. It's keeping a constant flow of, for example, more leads, more referrals, more control over everything that you can do. Sales give you that coursing sense throughout your business. But what are the actual organs that are doing the heavy lifting of your business? I say your numbers are the organs that actually care for and make satisfying and healthy your business. So something in my world I hear a lot of, and I have also even felt this before, and I have made a big transformation and shift for myself, is, right, I used to say to people actually, oh, right, your real goal in your business is for you to be able to take everything off the table that you don't like to do and just focus on creating content. And here's the deal. When you get to create content, right? If you are just creating content, I really think of that as like you eating junk food. It's you putting quasi-poisonous things into your body, and it may feel good where you're like, I'm doing so much. I'm creating social posts. I'm creating emails. I'm creating advertising that doesn't get followed up on. I'm creating all of these things. I'm creating. Isn't that nice? But at the end of the day, if there's not numbers attached to it, it really is junk food. It's just wasted calories. It's stuff that is getting consumed to give you a sense of dopamine, actually, and maybe a bit of adrenaline here or there, but it's there to make you feel good. It is literally emotional eating, just creating content. Whereas if you get to create content and get your numbers to see what of that content actually works, that type of content and getting your numbers is actually just like eating the most whole food, satisfying to your body, complete type of thing. For me, it would be like a bank. I really dislike pomegranate seeds, but aren't they pretty? But right, it would be like a banquet of fresh figs and passion fruit and mangoes and kiwi and really colorful things and maybe some salty things, but not too much and not too much sugar. It's stuff that makes your body feel so good. It's stuff that satisfies your organs. And that is what creating content, to me, in the right way and the best way, is actually going to do, only because you get your numbers, right? Ultimately, your numbers are not going to just appear magically without you looking for them. And they're also not always going to tell you what they mean until you start to really find out, what do these really mean? I have to tell you, it's really always important to do a little time out to say, it's not rocket science. It's never rocket science. It's something that when you get the basics under your belt, you're like, gosh, why did I wait for so long to try to figure out what was working in my business and what wasn't working in my business? Because I guarantee you right now, many things might be working a little bit in your business that can work much, much better. And some things aren't working and are an utter waste of your time. Half the time, half the things we do in the first couple weeks when we're working with someone setting up ads is really telling them, you don't need to do this anymore. Do you know what the point of what this is? No, you're on a hamster wheel. Get off the hamster wheel. You don't need it. Instead, we're going to give you your numbers. And these numbers might be some things like the real value one single customer brings you with additional sales after they've made that first purchase, maybe even referral type of thing. The true cost it takes for you to transition a somewhat passive audience member who may look at your YouTube or be active on your socials into someone who becomes a paying customer. There's a journey that they're going on. The journey always has some costs and investments attached to it. And that's what we want you to feel very black and white clear about, instead of like, I don't know. Right? There's no reason for you to stay in a place of I don't know, because the I don't know place keeps you sitting in a puddle of confusion, deep frustration, and often kind of overwhelm that kills so much time. You wonder how you made it this long, right? It's just like, this is why people give up their businesses when their business is like not even tapped into. And we'll talk about that in just a second. And finally, increasing all the results in your business by shifting, yes, into making random goals, picking things out of the sky, right? How many sales are you expecting or do you want? I'm going for 150. Well, how many did you get last time? You got 8? You got 8 sales last time, and now you'd like 150. That's wishful drinking, right? You may as well be having 7 martinis and saying, I'm expecting 150 because I have absolutely gotten 8 before, right? That is wishful drinking at the end of the day. RIP Carrie Fisher, I still miss you on a regular basis. But ultimately, right, we want you to shift into this sense of percentages, because percentages, yet again, let you be a control freak in the best way. And you get to improve things and tweak things and make them better. And that is a very special thing. So up to now, we have really covered 4 really important things. Realigning your mission with your marketing. Number 2, which is going from transactional into transformational experiences. We have talked about also taking total control of your leads and sales and being a control freak in the best possible way. We have also talked about getting your numbers. And now, the 5th and final massive thing that you really get when you have ads done for you is you get to make the very most of everything you already have. And this one is almost giddy making for me, because ultimately, I know that most people, unless you are absolutely brand new, most people are sitting on a gold mine. And that gold mine is totally unmined and untapped. It is just a bunch of things sitting there that are not being put to use for your audience to get to know you, for you to get to know your audience along that way. And ultimately, right, it's all of this waste that exists currently in your business. Now, in some ways, right, this is oftentimes a good reminder where we help people save a lot of money in their business and say, hey, would you also have a look at where your major expenses are? Because, hey, you're getting great results in terms of your advertising investment. Want to put more of your overall spend there that's not really working somewhere else? Wouldn't that sound like a really welcome and pleasant thing to consider doing, and maybe make a reviewed thing to do on a periodic basis? But here's the most important thing. In your life, in your regular non-business day-to-day life, everybody, I can't say this across the board, but most people, especially as they get older and people who do want to have successful businesses, in your regular civilian life, you actually have many assets. Your assets, for example, might be the home that you own or have a mortgage on, the car that you drive, your stock portfolio where you make investments for the long term. Maybe you even have rental properties or things that you have investments in and money comes to you. all the time. All of these things are assets. They're things that you have to use as a jumping off point. The thing is, most people don't see immediately that there is a direct business set of assets that you have. It's all the things already that you've created, that you've used, that you've forgotten about, really, that are not being put to use in your business. It's these things that let your audience know, like, and trust them more often. It's these things, resources, earlier courses that got forgotten, earlier materials that got made. I can't even tell you. It's so weird. This is a really weird thing. But over the years, I've repeatedly gone back to things quote unquote lost inside my computer. And I've read things or I've watched videos and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. This is really good. And it's me. It's me talking about it, but I haven't used that content in so long. It's like I'm a completely third person, totally objective person, not even remember creating it. And then the pieces start to fall back into place. That's really what I'm saying. And when you have ads done for you, we are going to make sure that you never actually put yourself in a position where you're starting over from scratch. The biggest thing I see that really makes me really sad, it's just really frustrating, it creates so much frustration for people, is that they keep hitting the reset button. I had a client a while ago now who had a pretty good launch, and this happens with some regularity, but I have one person in mind, and they had a pretty good launch. And instead of actually focusing on improving that pretty good launch so they could make it from good to great, they just threw out that baby with the bathwater. And ultimately, they kept hitting the restart button. They didn't improve what they had. They hit restart and they tried something totally different. And I see this all the time. And as I describe that to you, doesn't it sound itself a little crazy making? Well, we'll start from scratch. We'll start from scratch. We'll start from scratch. But ultimately, when people come into my world and they decide they might want to have ads done for them, right? What I know they're saying is, I'm ready to implement on a better, deeper, stronger level. I'm ready to connect with my audience on a different level. And most often, most of these people are coming from sales programs where they're just hitting the restart button every time. Well, that didn't work to get me sales. Now I'll go to that one, restart. Well, that didn't get me sales. Now I'll do this one, restart. Well, that didn't get me sales. And really, our goal with helping you use and mine and tap into the gold mine of all of your assets is so you even just throw that idea out as the baby with the bathwater. And you get to say, what do I have? How can I use it better? How can I find out more about my audience and let my audience get to know, like, and trust you better as their solution provider? And that starts to also take stress away, not make you feel like you have to reinvent the wheel all the time, and also give you a satisfaction that you are building success upon success, which also means that you get to create momentum instead of always going back to the bottom of the rungs of the ladder and starting from scratch. And isn't it exhausting? And of course, why wouldn't that lead to burnout? The way we even look at how we approach advertising and marketing is the flip opposite of that. We want you to love it and have joy and have some basic ideas of how it really is going to work for you, because now we know how it's going to work for you. Whether you are a coach or a leader or an expert or someone with courses and group programs, we have it designed for you to be able to now do all of these 5 things, for you to realign with your mission, for you to make the most of what you already have, for you to go from transactional to transformational relationships, for you to actually find out your numbers, and for you today, this is apparently my little block, right? For you to take full control over your leads of sales. Is that not the most important thing? Right? You don't need to be a micromanaging control freak at all in your business, not with your customers, not with your clients, not work with your partners or your support staff. You don't need to be a control freak with any of them or anything like that. You do get to be a control freak with giving your business the lifeblood it needs in terms of sales and a healthy system to move all that blood around and get more sales, but get more leads and have control over it. So these are the 5 things that we know people start to experience on a totally different level, all while having your ads done for you. Because that's just a part of the process that starts off this really amazing, beautiful investment, not only in yourself and in your business, but an investment you get to have to connect with your audience. And that's the thing I want to leave on today. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for discovering maybe 5 things you've never considered before, or 5 things that one of these things at least might move you into a place of finding relief in your business. As always, don't forget, you can connect with us deeper if you go into Instagram, if you go to Facebook, if you come to our website, which is goldenringmarketing.com. And as always, we now have a Q&A segment of this where I get to answer your questions live on the pod. So if you have questions, please, below wherever you're watching this, in show notes, in YouTube comments, wherever this is, let me know your questions. It would be an honor and a privilege for me to answer your questions and keep you moving forward and give you the momentum that you so absolutely deserve inside a business you so absolutely deserve to love. I'll see you next time.